Show of hands, how many people have ever paid rent in your life? All right, so you know what a hassle and a headache it can be. It was February 5th, 2011, and I received a disturbing phone call from my landlord. She was upset because she had not yet received my rent for that month. Now, this phone call came as quite a surprise to me because of the nightmare I had gone through in order to pay rent for that month. Like I said, it was in February. It was during the awful snowstorm, snow to your knees. And I have to buy my money orders at Walmart because our landlord requires that we pay rent with a money order. So I went to Walmart, and as always the case at Walmart, when you need something, the line is extremely long, right? So I went up, and I swiped my card, and I was declined. I thought, well, that's strange, so I decided to swipe it again, and I was still declined. So at this point, I decided to call my bank and see what was going on. They said, oh, yeah, our debit cards are offline. Okay, well, when will they be back online? Oh, we don't know. Okay, so I wasted some more time at Walmart. I swiped my card again. I was still declined. At this point, I decided the best plan would just be to drive to the bank, pay a little extra at the bank for my money order, and pay my rent on time. So I trekked through the snow, made it back to my bank, and bought the money orders. A few days later, I realized that I had gotten charged at Walmart, even though they had not given me any money order. So in essence, I paid for rent at my bank, and I paid for rent at Walmart. So you can imagine my frustration on February 5th when my landlord called me and said, where's your rent? So there are lots of headaches that come with paying rent, and that was just from the tenant's viewpoint. Think about landlords. They have to collect the rent. They have to keep track of who's paid and who hasn't. They also have to track down late payers. Kollecto is an online property management firm that helps alleviate all the headaches with rent paying. This is Natalie Morton. I'm Luke Lancaster. Today we'll be sharing the Kollecto concept with you and convincing you why Kollecto is a great investment. So, why do landlords become landlords? Well, they want a source of passive income. Kollecto makes passive income even more passive. There are 6 major pains that landlords face. Landlords need to collect rent, and Kollecto provides secure online ACH payments. Landlords also need to acquire tenants. Kollecto helps reduce vacancy rates because of our property listing and our connections to college students. Landlords also need to deal with maintenance and upkeep, which we help by having online maintenance requests. Landlords need to stay organized, and we help provide this through our financial reporting. Landlords need to pay their taxes, and Kollecto can help with tax preparation services. And finally, every landlord needs a marketing advantage, and Kollecto can help provide this through our increased exposure from our website, partnerships, and networking.
Now, with our target market, our initial target marketing is going to be landlords right here in Central Illinois, specifically people that are from 3 different cities, Peoria, Bloomington, and Champaign. Now, the reason why we're targeting these 3 cities is because there's a high number of rental units within these cities. For instance, here in Peoria, there's about 32% of all housing is rentals. This means that automatically we have a great solid base, and we figure it's about 78,000 units that are rented within these 3 cities. Now, another reason why we're targeting these 3 cities is because of the schools that are there. We're looking to target the college listing properties. And with Bradley University, the U of I, and ISU, we have great foundation there with a lot of potential students that are living off campus. At Bradley alone, we have about 32% of students that are living off campus. That's 1,600 students that we can go ahead and target. Now, with all 3 together, it's about 30,000 students that we can go ahead and target that are going to want to live off campus. Now, this is not just a trend that is only occurring now. It's going to continue based off of a few reasons. One being this graph is showing you that college enrollment is only increasing. This means that there's going to be obviously more people needing more houses, which is good for us because that is what line of business we're getting in. And there's also a similar trend of people wanting to live off campus. Now, that's reasons for better privacy, cheaper rent, being able to eat healthier because you're making your own food, as well as having more space. So, like I said, this is not a trend that we just see today. We're also expecting it to continue in the future. Now, also, the reason why we believe Kollecto is going to be an important business and service for people is because of a few reasons. One being the results that we got from our survey, which we target 140 students with a survey, asked them key questions that we wanted to know, which we thought would be helpful to see if Kollecto will be able to get launched. And one of those questions was, hey, how are you currently paying your rent? Over 70% of the people either said, I'm paying by money order or I'm paying by checks. Okay, which is really weird because nowadays everyone wants to pay online. You can see with the second graph that people, over 90% said, I would rather pay online. Okay, so why aren't we doing this? We don't know. So that's where the whole idea came from. We also took it a step further and asked them, hey, if we were to charge you $1 for that transaction every single time, would you be willing to pay that transaction? A high number, over 70% of people said, yeah, I would be willing to pay that transaction fee, no problem, which is great because that's one of the ways that we're already going ahead and having some of our revenue come in.
So it doesn't matter how great the idea is, if it doesn't bring any money in, it's not a business, right? Well, Kollecto has identified 4 major revenue streams. We have 3 primary ones and a secondary one. One of our primary revenue streams will be our monthly subscription fee charged to landlords. If a landlord has between 1 and 25 units, we'll charge them $20 a month. If they have 26 or more units, we'll charge them $40 a month. Now, this is on par with our close competitors who also charge a similar subscription fee. Another primary revenue stream will be the tenant setup fee. This will be a one-time setup fee that we'll charge to the landlord, and it will be $10 for every time a new tenant signs up. Now, as you'll see on the next slide, this is actually much cheaper than what our competitors are charging. Our third primary revenue stream is our transaction fee. Each month, when a student or a tenant pays his or her rent, there will be a $1 transaction fee used to process their payment. And our secondary revenue stream will be property listing fee. So basically, a landlord can go to Kollecto's website and post their property for $5 a month per property. So in order to reach the profitability that we want, we have to make some assumptions about how fast we're going to grow. By the end of first year, Kollecto will sign 2,000 units. By the end of year 2, we'll grow to over 10,000. And by the end of year 3, Kollecto will have 25,000 units in its portfolio. Now, this may seem high or unrealistic, but it's actually quite achievable. Buildium is a close competitor of ours. They're an online property management firm that offers many similar services that Kollecto does. In the first 8 years of their existence, they grew at an average rate of 50,000 units per year. Kollecto only needs to grow at 8,333 units per year in order to meet our objectives. Also, we plan to justify this growth by, in the third year, adding a sales team as well as interns. These sales teams and interns will do a lot of face-to-face selling as well as focusing on direct marketing towards landlords.
Now, there are 3 main competitors that we're focused on. This chart's going to show you Kollecto versus those 3 competitors. Now, you can see here, basically we offer similar services, but there's several reasons why Kollecto has a competitive advantage. First being our target market. We're targeting landlords that have 1 to 100 units. This is something that our competitors are completely ignoring. They're looking for people that are interested in perhaps 1 or more units. So that already gives us a heads up, but we also are, like Luke had mentioned, we're cheaper, which in the market that we're looking for, which is the college listings, that's great because why would college students want to pay extra? So this is allowing them to have low costs, and it's also, college market is something that our competitors are not currently doing either. And of course, I mean, if they wanted to, they can go ahead and jump in that market, but the reason why we still have a competitive advantage is because A, we're cheaper, B, we have personal touch. We're going to, like Luke said, we're having sale interns and sale people come in and make that face-to-face contact with that sale. Not only that, though, once they come on board with us, we're going to be able to give them customer service that isn't like no other because of that personal touch. Now, even if that is something that doesn't convince you, we also have established collegiate networks already in Peoria area, whether it's with Bradley University or being a Greek community. We already have our foot in the door there, allowing us to have that competitive advantage, even if our competitors decide to come into the market.
So Kollecto is seeking $40,000 in angel investment, which will give you a 48.5% ownership in our company. Now, this money, along with our founder's equity, will be used to cover startup expenses totaling $82,500. The majority of these startup expenses will come from our website, which in fact we are currently developing.
Now, upon launch of our business, this is what the website is going to look like. As you can see, it's very stylish, it's easy to figure out where you're going, and it's also going to be very innovative. Now, there's 2 ways to sign in here. You can sign in with the residents or the landlords. This is going to take you directly to the information you want to see as that individual. So for instance, if you're a tenant, you're going to be able to see when your rent is due, how much money you owe them. You can also make maintenance calls saying, hey, my sink is broken, can you come fix it? Now, automatically gets sent to that landlord. If you're a landlord, however, you don't necessarily want to see how much, all that information. You want to see different things. You want that financial information of all of your different properties. You want to know the contact information for each individual you're dealing with. You also want to be able to have a list of all the maintenance calls that you made that year. That way, for financial reasons, you can look back at it. That's why we have a very simple and easy to use website with the two different functions. And the last thing that Kollecto is offering, which is an amazing tool, is that we're going to be able to fill vacancies. The reason why we're going to be able to do this is because we're going to have a map that shows you the location of where you want to live. So let's say you want to go ahead and you want to live in Peoria. What we're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to go online to our website, look at a Google map, shows you exactly where each of the houses are located. It's going to tell you the location, who the landlord is, as well as the cost of living there. Now, that's going to make it even easier for, like I said, landlords to go ahead and make people come and live with them, but it's also going to allow students to find an easy way and get in touch with the landlords, because you can directly set up appointments from our website by clicking on which house you want to see.
So we've shown you how Kollecto works, who's going to want it, but what about our financial performance? Kollecto will break even in year 1, creating positive cash flow in just the 4th month of operations. By the end of year 3, Kollecto will earn $942,000 in net income, which will give you an 11.5 times return on your investment in just 3 years. But let's say our projections are too high. We went ahead and conducted a sensitivity analysis to show us what would happen. Even if Kollecto can only achieve 75% of the goals that we've set, we'll still remain profitable. Not only that, but in the end of year 3, we'll have a net income of $437,000. Maybe 75% of sales is still too aggressive. Even if we can only sign half of the landlords that we're predicting, we still, at the end of year 3, have a net income of $185,000, which is a very healthy return on your investment. But investors want to know how they can get their money back. Well, Kollecto has 2 exit strategies. The first is a buyout, which would occur from one of 3 major players. Buildium, as we mentioned earlier, would be interested in buying Kollecto because they have experience in the industry and they also want that increased customer base. Similarly, Propertyware would be interested in our customer base and also want that access to that new, previously underserved market. The third buyout would occur from Intuit, a payment solutions company. They would be interested in our online rent payment system. The second exit strategy for Kollecto is round 2 financing. In this option, Kollecto would go raise additional funds and buy out the initial investors, also giving you a very huge return on your investment.
Now, not only did we go ahead and figure out a couple of exit strategies and give you a sensitivity analysis, but we actually spoke to real landowners in the area being like, hey, upon launch, would you want to do business with us? We have 4 people saying, yes, I would like to do business with you by signing a letter of intent. Those individuals include Bill Funkhauser, which you probably already all know, Mike O'Neill, Ed Smith, as well as Sigma Phi Epsilon, which is a fraternity here on campus, which would give us 36 tenants from the launch that would be doing business with us, which is great. This is also giving us not only networks within the landlords in Bradley community, but it's also giving us Greek Tides, which is a big major network here on campus, giving us opportunity once upon launch to hit the ground running.
So some investors invest in great ideas. Lots more investors invest in great management teams. But with Kollecto, you can feel confident investing in a great idea and an even better management team. At this time, I'd like to invite the rest of our management team up. Unfortunately, our board of advisors cannot be with us today, but they include, as you saw, Bill Funkhauser, who signed a letter of intent, also Dustin Rieger, who is a bank manager at Bank of Edwardsville, and he's also a professional landlord, as well as Peter Morton, Natalie's dad. He's a professional investor, and he deals with hard money loans. So unfortunately, they cannot be here with us today. Like I said earlier, my name's Luke. I'm the CEO of Kollecto. I'm double majoring in entrepreneurship and finance. I've had experience starting and running a business when I was in high school, and this also spawned a clothing line, which was also successful. It gained regional recognition through magazines and newspapers, and by starting these businesses, I learned about customer service and also gained sales experience. I've also held many leadership roles, including my current position as president of Collegiate Entrepreneurs Organization. And I believe with all these experiences that it has taught me to think innovatively and also be able to recognize opportunities.
Hi, my name is Tom Menendez, and I'm Kollecto's Chief Financial Officer. As a senior finance major here at Bradley University, I've had extensive experience in the areas of financial analysis, financial statements, and accounting. I've also got entrepreneurial experience as I managed and co-founded a watercraft leasing company in central Missouri. I managed our most profitable unit for more than 2 years, gaining valuable experience in both sales, management, and customer service. With my dual knowledge of business finance and entrepreneurship, I plan to be a valuable member of the Kollecto team.
Hi, my name is Sanjan. I currently work for a company called Gainlight Studios. Gainlight Studios is a marketing firm here in Peoria, Illinois that focuses on design work, branding, and custom designs for local businesses here in Peoria, and also for organizations on Bradley University's campus. After working with Gainlight for a full year, I was awarded top sales representative by contributing over 20% of the company's revenue during school. I'm also a big part of E46 Fanatics, which is an online BMW car forum with over 200,000 members. I made over $7,500 in just over a week by launching an online merchandise store. With my success with Gainlight Studios and E46 Fanatics, this shows you that I have the ambition to succeed, which is beneficial to Kollecto.
And I'm Natalie, just in case you already forgot, but I am a degree in professional selling, which basically means all my background comes in sales. I have an extensive background in sales, including being a top sales person for my class, as well as being a national collegiate sales competition contestant this past March, which I went down to Georgia for. It was a good experience. But I also have an internship with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, which there's a major contest, which is basically off of sales, growth, car sale leads, and car sales. And I was awarded second place out of all the interns in Chicago and Indiana area. There's a total of about 70 different students, and I was awarded second place. Basically, as you can tell, with the four of us being a major team, we're going to hit the ground running. We're going to be able to have a successful launch as well as successful business for the years to follow. And that's based off of having strong management, strong financial, and strong entrepreneurial spirit. But mainly, we all have background in sales, which is really important for our business because obviously in the start of a business, you need to go out, you need to get prospects, you need to make those sales calls. That's something that each of us can bring to the table and make it successful. So on behalf of my team, I would like to thank each of you for coming in tonight and talking to us. And we really appreciate you being here, and we would like to open up to any questions that you may have.